After my husband cheated, I ended up sleeping with the deaf-mute college student he was sponsoring. When my husband brought his secretary home to have sex, I was in the next room having sex with the guy he was sponsoring. He bit his lip, holding back, his face flushed red, his eyes hazy. He typed on his phone, then played the audio. "Stop. Please don't touch there." The volume was too loud. My husband heard it from the next room. The night my husband Ethan threw a banquet to celebrate the patent award of the college student he was sponsoring. I slept with that guy. Right now, he was crying. Naked, his broad chest covered in scratch marks from my nails, plus bite marks. He was crying hard, but he made no sound. Head lowered, typing on his phone, his hands trembling. Why typing on his phone? Because he was deaf and mute. At the banquet, I, a married woman, fell in love at first sight with this fresh, clean-looking guy. A fair, clean-looking guy, really good-looking, shy and reserved, totally my type. I did have wicked thoughts about him, but I never expected things to go this far. We drank too much and ended up sleeping together. I remembered his name was Barry, one of the many people Ethan was sponsoring, and the hardest-working, most accomplished one. He typed several times before finally finishing. Suddenly, the electronic male voice from the text-to-speech started looping loudly. "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." The sudden noise startled me into freezing. He had actually been using sign language with me earlier, but I didn't understand, so he resorted to typing on his phone. Barry's face was bright red, tears falling non-stop. The way he sobbed was strangely pitiful. I couldn't help laughing. "Was that your first time?" He lowered his head again, silently confirming. I was even more satisfied. I gently soothed him. "Don't worry, it was just an accident. As long as you don't say anything, no one else will ever know." I didn't take this incident to heart. Nor was I afraid Ethan would find out. Ethan had been coming home later and later recently. Every time, he'd call me. "Sorry, babe. Looks like I'll have to work late again. Don't wait up. Go to sleep early." He played the good husband, so I played the good wife. We had a good relationship. The one really getting anxious was Ethan's secretary, his affair partner. Once again, after Ethan came home late from a business dinner, Daisy was supporting him as she knocked on my door. A blackout drunk Ethan was leaning against Daisy. She gave me a coy, flirty smile. Ethan got drunk, and he's so clingy. I had to coax him to come home. Her ambition and provocation were written all over her face, openly trying to provoke me. I glanced at Ethan and smiled brightly. Yeah, this disobedient dog doesn't even know what kind of crap he's been rolling in outside. Daisy's face turned absolutely ugly. A pretty young secretary, a top graduate fresh out of school, only 24 this year. Almost everyone around Ethan knew his relationship with this secretary wasn't innocent. But they deliberately helped him hide it from me. After all, in the business world, a man having a few mistresses was nothing unusual. It's fine. You can't hide it forever. I'd known for a long time. Thanks to Daisy. The young girl was anxious and couldn't keep things to herself. She was desperate to stake her claim in front of me. So she deliberately posted on Instagram a photo of Ethan carrying her home on his back. Caption, "With you here, I'm not afraid of even the darkest night." So romantic. So romantic I couldn't help but like the post. Within minutes the photo was deleted, and Daisy messaged me privately to apologize. "Lena, please don't misunderstand. I just twisted my ankle, and Ethan was just helping me get home." You twisted your ankle. Couldn't you call an Uber? Couldn't you go to the hospital? You had to make him carry you? I should have been angry. But somehow I wasn't really that angry. We'd been in love for so many years, going from having nothing to this happy life. I should have screamed and cursed at this homewrecker. But that was ugly, and I didn't like ugly. 6 years of dating, 6 years of marriage. I guess I was tired of it too. So I replied, "If it's serious, remember to go to the hospital." Daisy didn't reply. To this day, Ethan still doesn't know I'd long since discovered his affair. He played dumb, and I played dumb too. Adults care more about interests. Seeing the hickey on his neck that Daisy had deliberately left, I just felt disgusted. I simply threw the reeking of alcohol Ethan into the bathroom. He still wanted me to take care of him in his dreams. After tossing Ethan into the bathroom, I went straight back to my room and slept. As expected, Ethan caught a cold the next day. He came at me right away. "How could you just dump me in the bathroom and ignore me? Are you even my wife?" I looked at him with an innocent face. "Sorry, honey. You know I'm not good at taking care of people. But I think that secretary of yours is pretty good, Daisy, right? Why not pay her extra so she can take care of all your needs?" When I mentioned Daisy, a flash of guilt clearly crossed Ethan's face. Then he quickly composed himself. "Are you jealous? There's nothing between me and her. Last night at the business dinner, those guys were forcing drinks on Daisy. She's just a young girl. I couldn't ignore that. I just had too much to drink, and she brought me home. Don't be paranoid. Don't you trust me?" Who asked him? I just said one thing, and he immediately confessed without being asked. I blinked in confusion. "I wasn't suspicious of you, honey. I didn't say anything. Why are you so worked up? If that's what you think, then there's nothing I can do." Ethan's face kept changing colors, and finally he stormed out, slamming the door. How ridiculous. After getting upset with me, he'd probably go seek comfort in Daisy's arms. I checked Ethan's recent spending records. Chanel, Balenciaga, Hermes. The clothes Daisy wore, the shoes, the bags she carried, the makeup she used, Ethan bought all of it for her. If I didn't spend his money, the mistress would. With that in mind, I immediately called my best friend out to go shopping, buying whatever was most expensive. After shopping, I took my best friend to a restaurant for dinner. I didn't expect to run into Barry here too. It had been half a month since that night. Honestly, I'd been savoring the memory. I had even considered keeping him as a kept man. But seeing him acting like such a chaste virgin, he probably wouldn't agree. Barry was bowing nonstop and apologizing to a customer because he had accidentally spilled water on them. Actually, the customer had bumped into Barry, which is why the water spilled. But the customer was aggressive. "Do you know how expensive this outfit is? A waiter like you couldn't afford it even after working your whole life. Say something. Are you mute or what?" Seeing Barry's hearing aid, the customer paused, then sneered mockingly. "So you're deaf and mute. Get your manager out here. I want to ask what kind of people they hire." Barry was working part-time here to support his studies. He also had a seriously ill mother. The $100,000 prize money Ethan gave him was probably all going to the hospital. If he lost this job, he probably couldn't even afford food. Thinking of that, I stepped forward and put Barry behind me. Many eyes turned toward us, but I didn't care. Barry's tears shimmered with helplessness. Being unable to speak meant he couldn't even apologize or explain. "How much? I'll pay for him." The customer wouldn't let it go. "Who are you? What business is it of yours?" I pulled out a wad of cash I'd just withdrawn from my bag and threw it in his face, stunning him. "Is this enough?" I threw another stack in his face. "If not, I have more." Bullying someone vulnerable. What exactly are you so superior about? After throwing the money, I just pulled Barry away. My best friend stared blankly at me and at Barry, whom I'd brought along. Isn't he the college student Ethan was sponsoring? She had been at the banquet too that day. Without time to explain too much, I paid the bill and took Barry away. When we got somewhere private, Barry typed on his phone and played the audio for me. "Thank you. I'll write an IOU and pay back all the money." Because deaf-mute people couldn't speak, their tone of communication was different from normal people's. But somehow, this made him seem cute, his earnest attitude. He probably still remembered what happened that night vividly, because he didn't dare look me in the eye. The more he avoided looking at me, the more I wanted to look at him. How could someone be so good-looking? I finally understood why men all love innocent women. I liked innocent men too. Unable to hold back, I held his hand. I asked him, "Do you want to be with me? I can give you money so you won't have to work so hard at part-time jobs anymore." I didn't expect him to react so intensely, pulling his hand away. The male voice from his phone played loudly. "You're Mr. Ethan's wife. We can't do this." People passing by gave us strange looks. His bluntness made me laugh. "It's fine. We both do our own thing." It's just that Ethan didn't know yet that I had someone on the side. He seemed unable to believe that Mr. Ethan, whom he respected and was grateful to, could be that kind of person. He looked shocked, almost shattered. But Barry was someone with a strong moral compass. Without hesitation, he refused me again and fled. Fine if he didn't agree, whatever. He's not the only man in the world. He's not even that good-looking, I don't care. After getting home, my best friend bombarded me with calls. "What's going on with you and that college student?" I told her everything. The day Ethan threw the banquet for him, I slept with him. She screamed in disbelief. What? I hadn't wanted to tell her about Ethan's affair, but I couldn't keep it in. After telling her, I felt much better. She cursed up a storm. Those two pieces of trash. How dare he? She couldn't imagine Ethan being that kind of person. Neither could I. After all, he was so good. Whether in the eyes of family, lovers, friends, or outsiders, he was a really good man. But underneath, this outstanding person had long since rotted through. If I were 20, I would have screamed and confronted him, made a scene with him. But I was already 27. I just thought college students have great stamina and great bodies. My best friend asked when I was going to divorce him. No plans for now. Whether I divorce or not is basically the same to me. She stopped talking and just kept sending me photos of hot guys. Young, handsome, great bodies. Wasn't any one of them more tempting than Ethan? But looking at these guys' photos, all I could think about was Barry's face. He couldn't speak, but he sure could go all out. Crying and going all out at the same time. It was really addictive. The third time I ran into Barry was at the hospital, because I couldn't be sure when Ethan started cheating, and I didn't know if he'd picked up anything outside. Just in case, I planned to go to the hospital for a checkup, plus a full physical. That's when I saw Barry in the hallway, holding a payment notice and silently sobbing. When he cried, his shoulders shook, his hands covered his face. He looked so pitifully helpless. I shouldn't have gotten involved. After all, he'd clearly rejected me that day. But I just felt sympathy stirring in my heart. I had someone look into it and learned that Barry's mother was also at this hospital. She was in the ICU every day, money flowing out like water. The $100,000 Ethan gave him was quickly used up. The rate at which he could earn from part-time work couldn't possibly keep up with the rate of spending. Ethan would only give him tuition and living expenses, not money for his mother's treatment. Now her condition had worsened, and she needed surgery. The doctors told him to prepare at least $1 million. How could he possibly come up with $1 million? So I quietly paid this bill for him. Consider it building good karma for myself. I did a good deed without leaving my name, but somehow Barry figured out that I had paid the money, and within a few days he found me. While I was drinking with my best friend at a bar, he suddenly appeared in front of me. She elbowed me, raising her eyebrows suggestively. "Here's your chance. Go, go, go." I took him to a private room at the bar. He skillfully typed on his phone and played, "Thank you for your help. I will pay you back." I sat on the bed, looking at him with a half-smile. "How are you going to pay me back?" He was a bit flustered and continued typing, "I'll repay you with interest." Actually, he didn't know how to repay me. In his eyes, money was very important, so this was the only way he could think of to repay me. But I didn't need money. I rub his calf with the tip of my high heel. He startled and backed away a few steps. You know what I want. From the very beginning, what I craved was his body. Barry's expression was conflicted, an internal battle waging. After thinking for a long time, he gritted his teeth and took off his clothes. I was just surprised that he actually agreed, when suddenly he knelt in front of me, his trembling hands reaching to pull down my dress zipper, and looking up he kissed me clumsily. His face was red enough to bleed. He was almost crying, but he was still very earnestly, very obediently repaying me. Afterwards, he sank into unbearable, agonizing guilt. He typed and played. I'm a bad person. I've wronged Mr. Ethan. I'll stop accepting his sponsorship. His serious demeanor was just too cute. My heart melted watching him. I stroked his head, then kissed his cheek. Don't feel guilty. He has women outside, too. Our marriage is just a marriage in name only now. Barry was stunned. I grabbed his phone and left my number. If you really want to repay me, let's make a deal. From now on, I'll cover all your mother's medical expenses. You just need to spend every weekend with me. After all, I'm a normal person too. I have normal physical needs. Ethan was dirty. I didn't want to use him. Barry was incredibly simple, although too proper, he was easy to coax. Plus, he really needed money right now. With a few words, I coaxed him into agreeing. I comforted him. No one will know. You're not a bad person. You're my little sweetheart. Barry couldn't handle being teased. He was so embarrassed he wanted to take off his hearing aids. After adding his contact info, I FaceTimed him every day. Barry couldn't speak, so whatever I said, he just nodded or shook his head. Taking advantage of the fact that he couldn't speak, I teased him every day. Watching the innocent college guy blush in embarrassment, what a life. Being with Barry, I rediscovered the passion of my younger dating years. I'd even forgotten that, since the one-sided fight Ethan had with me, he hadn't been home for a long time. The lover was obedient. The husband didn't come home. Life was getting more and more promising. I had coaxed Barry into taking off his shirt to show me his abs, and had just hung up the call. Ethan came home. He pushed the bedroom door open without turning on the light. He lay down beside me, reached out to pull me into his arms, and intimately called my name. Lena, I love you. This was him having strayed and feeling guilty about it. He wanted to kiss me, but the thought of where his mouth might have been on Daisy made me sick. Without thinking, I pushed him away. Ethan was stunned for a moment. He asked me, "Are you still angry?" He sighed helplessly. "Can I apologize to you? It was all my fault. I shouldn't have been so harsh with you that day." I continued playing innocent. "Honey, what are you talking about? I just feel bad that you work so hard. You should rest." Ethan frowned. He felt something was off, but he couldn't say what was off. We hadn't had marital relations in a long time. Daisy was so clingy, she'd long since made him push me aside. He had finally come back to me, but I didn't want him. How could he not feel something was off? I knew Ethan still loved me. Because I knew him, I knew what he was like when he loved someone. It's just that now, he separated love and the body very clearly. He loved me, but that didn't stop him from sleeping around outside, seeking thrills. A 17-year-old boy could sincerely say he loved me. The 27-year-old Ethan could also say he loved me. But the Ethan of now was no longer the Ethan of before. Trying hard to ignore the strange feeling in his heart, he hugged me, gently pressing his face against the back of my neck. "Babe, you're so good." Then, by the light of the lamp, he noticed the hickey on the back of my neck. "What's this?" He shot up suddenly, brows furrowed, face dark, staring intently at that mark. I reached up and touched it. I remembered it was from the day Barry said he wanted to repay me. At first he had acted like he was being forced into it, but then he got too into it and sucked one out. I lied with a straight face. Mosquito bite. The pest control hasn't been very good lately.